What's up, you guys? It's Philip again from Bab's Honda Repair, back to you with another DIY how-to. Today we're going to be working on a 2006 Honda Ridgeline, and we're going to be doing a power steering pump, as well as the reservoir and new fluid. So stay tuned while we knock this out. So I ordered my pump and reservoir from Rock Auto, and if you don't use Rock Auto, man, you're really missing out, because they have quality parts at a pretty good price, right? The only downfall is you have to wait, as opposed to if you want it right now, you know, you can run up to the parts store. But if you can wait a couple days, you get a pretty good deal. You get magnets. I got a whole side of my refrigerator filled up with magnets. Handy dandy razor. This should be our reservoir. So there's our new reservoir. And the reason we use our new reservoir is because there's a screen inside, and over time that screen gets stopped up and then it starves your system. So make sure if you're doing a new pump, you do a new reservoir. Alright, and then here's our pump. This is a reman unit. I don't always recommend reman units, but that's what the customer had in his budget, so that's what we did. So we'll need to make sure you save, if you order from Rock Auto, make sure you save your original box, because it's it has a core charge and you have to send the old pump back. So as you can see, it doesn't have the pulley on there, so we'll have to take the pulley off of the original pump. And yeah, this is our new pump, our reman pump. It's got a plug here that we have to remove for our line, and then there's another plug here we'll have to remove for the line. But yeah, as soon as the customer gets back over here, we're gonna get started on swapping this stuff over. And then for fluid, I get this stuff here from O'Reilly's, and you can see it's formulated for Honda. All right. The reason I get it from O'Reilly is because that's the only place I can get it in a quart size. Everywhere else sells it by the pint. You can get the pint size at Honda, or you can get the pint size like at AutoZone, etc. The only place I found a quart is O'Reilly's. And make sure you use something that is specific for Hondas. If you don't, it's going to foam up. It's not like your typical Toyota or GM where you can just put power steering fluid in it. Make sure you use Honda formulated specific power steering fluid. Alright guys, so here's a couple of tools we're going to be using on this job. I've got my 3/8 stubby impact, a 3/8 ratchet. You can do this job without those, but you'll also need a 3/8 ratchet, a flathead screwdriver to remove the engine cover. Then here for my wobbler sockets, I have a 10 and a 12, so that's a 12-10, and then I also have a 12mm deep. I have a 19mm deep, and we'll use that to remove the pulley off the pump. I have a little short 3/8 extension, and then I have a pair of needle nose pliers with a 90-degree bend on the end, and I have just a little small flathead to remove the O-rings from the power steering hose. You also need a drain pan to put under it whenever you drain the fluid, but this should be all the tools that you need for this job. Alright, so we have to remove the engine cover first. Just these 3 flatheads. I have to remove the belt, and it's at 14mm. So you rock it towards the back of the truck. Alright, so now we got to take these 2 10s out here for the pressure line, and then there's a 10 right down here for the return. There's 2 12s, one back here and one right down here to hold the pump on. We got our pump, so that's a 19. And the standard thread goes backwards, so got the pulley off.
That's the old one.
Now we got a rebuilt one. Yep. We're back over here to the reservoir, and I'm gonna get a drain pan. And so I just use the drain pan down there and aim this return hose here down and drain the reservoir. And we'll just use our pliers, take off this clamp. And this reservoir slides up and comes out like so. I just put new O-rings on this last week, OEM O-rings. So we'll retain these, drain that the rest of the way out. It's going into my drain pan that's under the truck. And then after I get done with this, we'll pressure wash the engine off and clean off all the residual fluids. Then we'll take our pliers and remove this clamp. Alright, so you can see we got that off there. So here's our new one. Slide that back on. Put our clamp back on. Alright, so the reservoir is now replaced. So now we'll put the new pump on. But first, we're going to put this return line on. It's 10 millimeters. Put our top line on.
Better, buddy.
So we just filled her up with fluid. I forgot the pump all the way on. Now we'll start it. I gotta put some fluid in it. Keep putting fluid in it till it's full on the reservoir. Turn it back and forth. Alright, so we've got the power steering system bled out. Fluid's full. Got our cap on. This top on. Now we're gonna wash it off. So we got the engine rinsed off, and now we'll just put the cover back on. Alright guys, so the customer's gone. We finished up with the power steering pump replacement on this 2006 Honda Ridgeline. Now, in the video I mentioned that I wasn't going to replace the O-rings since I just replaced them last week with OEM O-rings. I would definitely recommend to go ahead and replace the O-rings with the O-rings provided with your new pump. In this case, I put it back together without replacing the O-rings, and it was still getting air in the system. So I took it back apart, put the O-rings that came with the new pump in there, and it worked like a charm. So if you get the new pump, use the O-rings that come with the pump, and you'll be good to go. So this information would be applicable to 03 and up Honda Accords equipped with a V6, 04 and up Acura TL that's equipped with a V6, the Honda Odysseys that are equipped with V6, as well as other models of the Ridgeline, the Honda Pilot. Honda uses the same style setup on almost all of their V6s with a single serpentine belt. Some of the older ones, like the I guess like the 94 to about 02 Honda Accord, has a separate belt, and I know it's the same way for some of the older Acura TLs. It has just a single belt that runs the power steering, so it'd be a little different on your belt removal there. For my belt removal, I know I didn't really show it in my tools, but I just have I have this long bar that I use that has a 14 on the end. It just makes it really easy to get the leverage to be able to remove that serpentine belt. And it's just something I made here. It's not something that's store-bought. Basically took a socket, cut it in half, welded it to a stick of steel to make it shallow. I have $10 in it maybe, so it ain't gonna be fancy. You can use like two 14mm wrenches, double wrench them. But if I was able to help you today, make sure you give me a like. Give me a comment, let me know how it helped you. I'm always trying to improve on my videos. If there's something that I'm doing that's helping you, or something I'm not doing that's not helping you, let me know. Also, make sure you give me a subscribe so that you can follow more DIY videos. I hope you tune in for the next video. That's all I got for today, YouTube. Appreciate it. Peace.